Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you all a quick update on what the haps is with Betty uh, going on. So pretty much here it is, the long and the short of it. The work situation has kind of tightened a little bit. I don't have as much free time as I used to have again. Um, but what's going on with it pretty much, on with it is today I got the front of the motor sealed. A brand new water pump. Um, that is not a brand new neck. I actually took a polisher and a wire wheel and a polisher to that uh, thermostat housing, the neck, and got that, got that all buffed up pretty good looking. That hose is on there because when you do the water pump, it's easiest to get that hose took care of. But yeah, got new gaskets, new crank seal on it, and she is almost ready to go. I'm just missing my radiator, which is over at Gibson Radiator in Jonesboro, because it's the factory radiator, and the original Chrysler numbers on it, and then the Chrysler Diamonds or Penta Diamond, I think they call it. I don't know. I'm not a Mopar expert yet. I'm working on it though. I'm researching more and more. Um, so yeah, Gibson Radiator has it because I'm trying to keep this truck um, closest to its original state as possible because everything has pointed at that it's pretty much unmolested. You guys might have saw on Facebook, I went with a double roller timing chain, and I was a little worried about it after the fact because it had this single here, and obviously looking at it, it's metal, instead of the plastic gears. But I figured, why waste money and time and not knowing when that was put on? The chain wasn't really all that stretched, so I'm probably just going to hold on to that just for backup purposes because I read online after I put the double roller in that the fuel pump, that the double roller timing chain that's in here works with certain fuel pumps but doesn't work with others. And here, apparently, well, the thickness of a double roller is probably almost, probably about, maybe a little bit, like a thickness and a half more of this timing chain. So picture this timing chain and then just picture it stopping at right there, where my finger is. It's just a little bit more wider. The problem is, pay no attention to the crap on my cart. The problem is the fuel pump eccentric that's on the cam. It still works the way it does, but the actual chain rubs into the side of the arm on the fuel pump, and it's been known to cause the fuel pump to break. Now, again, didn't find this out until after I put it on and had it together and stuff like that. I ran it for about 2 seconds. I didn't hear no kind of grinding noise that everybody was describing that you're going to hear with it, so I'm going to assume it's good. I pulled it back apart after I ran it too, and I didn't see no witness marks on the side of the actuator arm on a fuel pump. So it's telling me that it's clearing it. So yeah. So that's the good news. Well, a couple people have asked me why a double roller. Simple enough. Harmonics, vibrations. It's still, as much as it's an 88,000 engine, and it's showing me all kinds of sign that it's an 88,000 miles engine. It's a year-old engine. Well, break it down like that. It's still almost 50 years old, 46. So, she's an old girl, Betty. So, I got to take care of her as much as I can. So, if I can keep the vibrations and the harmonics down, that's going to be better than life of the motor. So, my next project this week is I'm going to get these valve covers done, and that, yes. I believe I'm having a charging issue, and I believe that little voltage regulator right there, she's the culprit. Um, the issue I'm having, and if you guys, know any better than I do, gosh, I'm sweating like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Um, if you guys know any better than I do, the it charges okay. It charges good. I'm getting 13.5, 13.6 volts. But every 15, 20, maybe 20 or between 20 and 40 seconds, I get this clicking that's coming from that. And then I get like kind of like a power flash where it just like discharges for a moment, like my lights will, and it's only like a nanosecond. You'll hear a boop, and it does that. And I'm pretty sure it's that voltage regulator, not 100%. So that's probably going to be one of the next things. Obviously, I ain't done my brakes yet. I got two directions I want to go. I either want to talk about that mirror or this dang fender. Let's talk about this fender, seeing as I'm looking at it right now. So, this is my half-hearted attempt, or not attempt, but my half-hearted delivery on my SOS scrub and my Meguiar's cleaner wax follow-up. I got these cheap Walmart SOS pads. What you do, it's kind of like wet sanding. You just, take them in a bowl, scrub it down, and it takes all the gunk off, all of the stuff that looks like that. It takes it all completely off. And then you follow it up with some Meguiar's wax or, whatever, and, you get a nice polish to it. I'm actually going to do it all over again and re-scrub it and do some rubbing compound because I still got, if you look in the light, you can still see some, it looks almost like water spots, but it's a far cry from what that was, because that's, that looked like that. So, and I scrubbed it a little spot there, but I didn't wax that part yet. But that's kind of the look I was going for. I got a shout out to Jarvis Anderson. He's got a detailing shop, or a mobile detailing he does. He wants to do the truck and take pictures, and he volunteered to do it for free, and I said no. I ain't gonna make anybody do this mess for free. So he wants to do the truck. I'm probably gonna let him in the interest of time. Obviously I'll help him, but in the interest of time, I think I'm gonna let him have at it and see what he can do, because he says he's got something that can make it look way better than that. I think that looks pretty good. It's got the shine, and it's kept the patina on it and everything else. And I love the way it looks, but he says he's got something that's way better, so we'll see what he does. Those mirrors. So was having issues finding them. I did find them, and they're pretty pricey for what I found them. They're a company out in Arizona is doing repros on them. Those are those. No, not my brake parts or my wheel parts I haven't done yet. Those are those. Those are factory sport mirrors, or what they call truck sport mirrors. And I found it out because that's still the factory mirror. I got my part numbers and the little Chrysler Penta Diamond on it. But yeah, I pulled that part number and found it was factory sport mirrors. I haven't been able to find any, but I found a company that repros them. But like I said, they're really, really pricey. From my understanding, and the problem is they don't do a lot of, they haven't started documenting these trucks, so it's kind of hard to figure out if this is a special order item. I believe it was, from what I was told from a guy who's starting to document them. The standard truck mirror on this truck has a hole there, and a hole down there. It's a triangulated mirror, comes out, comes up, sits like that. That's the sport mirror. that sport mirror that sits in there with the 4 holes, and if you go to the other side, it had them on this side too. Somebody put a really funky aftermarket one that I can't wait to get rid of. But you can tell it had it on that side too, but the paint obviously is showing that it's been gone for quite a bit. So the best I could find is those sport mirrors. They only put on vans and little red wagons. So I'm almost certain that it was a specialty ordered item for this truck that this guy wanted, which is a weird item to order, considering that I found out that that is a factory brake controller. That is a factory electric brake controller. There's a junction. There it is. There's a junction that's screwed into there that had the small port for that brake line that fed fluid through it and goes to that actuator. And then, you know, it sends signal that it's braking for the, you know, for the trailer brake. Which is weird to have a sport mirror, but you sprung for the tow package brakes. And the reason I have it disconnected, I know I said I was going to try and keep it original, which I still may. I may actually hook it back on just for the sake of, you know, the novelty of explaining it. I'm having a bit of an issue with the brakes, but I'm waiting to see if it's going to go away after I change them out and flush the fluid, which is why I got rid of that, because, you know, I just want the factory brakes system. This way it's easier to diagnose, which is why I took that out. The first time you hit the brakes, the pedal's soft, but if you let it go and you pump it again, or, you know, and hit it again, it's rock hard. So that brake fluid is probably from 1974. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flush it out, and when I do the brakes, I'm going to flush it out and take care of that. So that's where we're at with that so far. But yeah, I found those 2 hours away, outside of Dyersburg, Tennessee. And I was talking with the guy today, and he's supposed to get back with me tomorrow as to how we're going to make this transaction happen. If he just happens to flake on me, which I think he might. I found another person, or another place online, B&B Auto Salvage in Graham, Texas. They got a 77 with those mirrors on them. I left the salesman a voicemail. If he doesn't call me back by Monday morning, he's getting a phone call Monday afternoon if I don't have a deal with these other mirrors. So I'm slowly but methodically working my way to having a set of the mirrors again. The problem is there's a company in Arizona that makes repros, and the repros for it are just astronomically high, because those mirrors are just hard to find in one piece, or weren't heavily manufactured. Like I said, I know they were popular on the Little Red Wagon trucks or the Little Red Express trucks. So yeah. Yeah, I'm coming back here for a reason, but I got to come up here. So let's see. Covered Gibson, covered Jacarbus. I don't have the name, but I got to give a shout out to the woman who had these on eBay. She sent me, so she sent me 3, and accidentally had that one and sent that one to me with 3 of the regular dog dishes. These are 1974 dog dishes. That's, I think, I read 75 or 76 and above dog dishes, with the holes. But I like the ones with the holes because it reminds me of the old Dukes of Hazzard and whatnot. Roscoe Coltrane had those on his car. But anyway, she had these from 1974 vintage 1974 dog dish hubcaps. I'm excited. I got a full set of 4, as you can tell. They're slightly worn, but they're not beat up at all. So they're definitely going to go with the look of what I'm going for, which is that, which totally has me excited. I spent my Friday afternoon, about lunch. I got those back from the sandblaster Tuesday or Wednesday. I got them back. He had them done in like 3 days. But he sandblasted them, and then I sat and painted them on Friday and let them sit out there and cook and bake and marinate, whatever you want to call it. But they came out fantastic. I'm just super stoked. Obviously, with it sitting in the field, you know, he wasn't able to get rid of all the pitting, but I'm not that upset because they look good, and they're going to look even better with those on them. And then they're going to look even better with when I came home from lunch. I had a tower of tires sitting in front of my garage. You know, by the way, I'm going to owe my FedEx driver a bunch of Gatorades or something because she has endured so much. Yeah, and she's a she. Between 80 pounds of parts and then over a tower of tires. Yeah, she deserves a medal. So I believe that's going to cover it. So yeah, just to wrap that up, I apologize. This is where we're at now. There won't be a video on the reinstallation of all that stuff because, like I said, I was on call today, and I was in and out, and just shooting something piecemeal like that in and out is just not good, so I apologize. But that's where we're at. I promise I will film the valve covers and everything else that's done. The videos of the teardown and stuff like that, I edit up. That the video of the transportation was 2.5, 3 hours of actual video. And I got probably 9, 10 hours that I still have to edit down, and it's just time. It really is. Between work and actually doing the stuff to the truck, that's where we're at. So I appreciate every one of you guys for watching and checking it out, and your patience and everything else. I believe I've covered everything. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned.